So the other day I've been watching this new anime Gridman, and I had to be honest, this is so awesome, and I never actually watched it before. So I just did. So this will be my first review of Gridman. So here's the review, which the episode begins with a young man named Yuta Hibiki, which he actually woke up inside of a house. That is where a young girl named Rika Takarada, and she actually say that she found him collapsed in front of their store and was asleep 30 minutes, in which he actually has no recollections of what actually happens. In fact, he doesn't actually have any memories because he lost them. As soon as he actually trying to remember what he actually knew, he actually heard a voice. So he actually follows it and actually leads to the old computer. That is where the computer actually shows a a hyper agent by the name of Gridman, in which he actually told Hibiki to call to must must follow his calling, in which Rika actually asked Hibiki what he was doing, and he actually told her that he was talking to Gridman. However, nobody can actually see him but Hibiki, because he's the only one who can actually see Gridman. And so Rika actually took him to the hospital, and where he actually was told by the same thing, in which he actually doesn't know where he lives anyway. So Rika actually borrowed his phone, so we actually get information from a from another guy named Usumi, which he actually gave his address. As soon as they actually walked to his house, Hibiki actually went inside while Rika ran home. And so his parents actually went on a business trip and won't be back until 3 months, in which we actually seen Hibiki met up with Usumi. And so they actually went to class in which they actually knew that Hibiki have had memory loss, in which Hibiki wants to eat lunch with Usumi, but he forgot to pack his lunch. And that is when a young student named Akane Shinju, and she actually shared him a special hot dog that she actually brought. And that is when Tankawa Tankawa actually played with a school ball and actually hits the hot dog, which he should have actually played outside, in which Hibiki actually decided to eat the hot dog even though it was smashed. And the hot dog does actually have eggs and lettuce and pickle, but I like mine plain. But anyway, as soon as Hibiki told Usumi about Gridman, he actually excited to see Gridman as well. As soon as they saw Rika, they decided to went to their house, which also acts as a junk shop. And as soon as they actually saw the computer, Usumi didn't see Gridman either. That's where we actually went to another location where we actually see someone is working with a dark version of a Gridman who actually decided to bring monsters to life. And that is when a giant monster decided to destroy the city. Even though we actually see a monster in their world, but not the one in Gridman's world. And so Hibiki went over to Rika's house to talk to Gridman, in which he actually stuck inside of the computer. And that was when Rika and Usumi actually saw Hibiki and Gridman staring seriously as they're being connected. As that is when Rika has awakened and transformed into Gridman, like a giant Gridman. And that is when the Gridman actually decided to fight the giant monster. But even though that Hibiki transformed, it's still pretty weak. And that is when Usumi saw the monster's neck. It became weakened. So that is the weak point. But they have no idea how to contact Hibiki. But that is when Rika decided to use the computer to tap words into Hibiki's head. And that is when he decided to fight back against the giant monster, cutting off his head and decided to use his final attack, the Grit Beam. And that is he defeated the monster, which everybody's rejoiced, even though the villains are actually upset about it. And so we actually see Hibiki, Uzumi, and Rika saw everything was back to normal, including the school, which we actually knew what they were up against. So that is it. And so I still loving Gridman, which is almost like Ultraman, and that's actually how these things are actually excited. Now I know there's another name in the American version, the really long name that I cannot actually say it, but am loving Gridman, so I hope that we can see more of it very soon. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment on what you think about the episode. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr, and like my Facebook page. Until then, this is Emmy Guy here saying sign out. Laters!